G'day and welcome to episode 15, season 2 of A Brief History of Nothing. We're at the end of the second season and they said it wouldn't last. I'm the stunningly handsome Ray.
And I'm the less delusional James.
Right, tonight we're going to do odd and unusual deaths. So
yes.
buckle up.
Yeah, it's going to happen to everyone, and these decided that it should happen in style.
Yes, okay, well, give us Sigurd the Mighty.
Sigurd the Mighty was a Viking earl in the Orkney Islands of Scotland, and who decided that he really would like the mainland of Scotland. There's another earl called Mael who decided that no, I don't want you to have the northern part of mainland Scotland. So they decided to have a 40-man-a-side battle. Only Sigurd, being a Viking, used the usual, Viking honesty system and hit 80 people instead of 40. And obviously, won the battle, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Beheaded Mael. The only trouble is Mael was called Mael the Bucktooth. He had very prominent front teeth. And so Sigurd tied Mael's head to the saddle of his horse. And, of course, in the really bad spot, because then Mael's teeth scratched into Sigurd's leg. And this was several hundred years before antibiotics.
So, let me guess. Sigurd,
that's it. Scottish Gaelic, it's a strange...
Sigurd got an infection.
Yes, and died of septicemia.
Of course. So Mael got him in the end.
Yes. Karma is in fact a female dog.
Yeah. Okay. Now, death by diarrhea. Now that would be I couldn't think of anything worse to go than death by diarrhea. But Arius, the presbyter of Alexandria, right, was thought to have been given poison one night, and on his way through the imperial forum, he was suddenly stricken by extremely severe stomach cramps and diarrhea, which then led to hemorrhaging, which finally led to expelling part of his intestines out his anus.
That's what dysentery basically is, when the lining comes out.
Yes, well, yes. So he would have died of the hemorrhaging. He didn't really need to go any further, but
Yeah, you got to do a good job.
If you're going to do it with Dulux.
That's the one.
Yes.
Speaking of that part of the body,
yes, King Edward II. Well, noted as they termed it in his day, shirtlifter. King Edward II was gay, and the punishment for being gay. Well, he was dethroned by his wife and her lover because. They thought he was a thoroughly unsuitable person to be king.
Yes.
So he was taken off, excuse me, and held down. Can you take over?
Yes, held down by several people and had a red hot poker shoved up his bottom.
Yes, well, they initially insert a horn into the anus and then shove the poker through the horn into the body cavity, and yes, essentially burn your innards out.
Yay!
Yes, fun way to die.
I'm glad we live in a much more progressive society.
Yes, well,
yes, and next one was Rasputin.
Rasputin the mystic, yes, Russian mystic. Grigory Rasputin. Yes, he was thought to have too much influence over the Tsarina and the Tsar, so the Russian nobles decided, we're going to get rid of this dude. So a group of them got together and shot him 4 times, which didn't kill him. So they thought, what we'll do is we'll then poison him, and that didn't kill him. So they beat the crap out of him, that didn't kill him. So they threw him in a frozen river, and no, he didn't drown. When they finally recovered his body, they found he died of exposure.
He died of hypothermia.
Hypothermia.
He must have been tough as nails.
Yep. He survived the shooting, the poisoning, the beating, the drowning, but lying out in the open on the ice.
Yes.
For a day or two did him in.
Yes. The next one is people in Boston. Those that are in Boston, Massachusetts in the late 19-teens decided that putting molasses in a large, tank on a hot day probably wasn't the thing.
Yeah, well, they in 1919 there was a big a huge tank holding
molasses.
2 million gallons of molasses to be exact, and it exploded, to be blunt, and ran. But the problem with molasses is that once you're stuck in it,
That's it.
You can't get out of it.
Well, you know treacle, how thick treacle is? I think that's what treacle is usually made from, isn't it? Molasses?
Yeah, molasses is thicker again.
Yes. So it's basically, you'd be like stuck in corn syrup.
Yes.
You're stuck.
Yeah, so you can't get out once you're stuck in it. And the death by drowning would be very slow, and you'd know it was coming, and you're probably going to, I mean...
You would be very painful as well.
Yeah, but once you were completely covered by it, you would basically asphyxiate.
Yeah. Well, that's what drowning is.
Yeah.
It's asphyxiation by fluid. Yeah. Yes, and so another one, charming gentleman who obviously thinks of animal rights.
Yeah,
in
well, they
northern
didn't think of
Queensland.
animal rights in 1926, did they?
No. Decided that, we don't like this cassowary. Cassowary basically is, it looks like an emu went wrong.
Yeah, it looks like an emu that went, hey, I need some sprucing up. Give me some nice blue stuff on top.
And it has a bigger beak.
Yeah, bigger beak, bigger nastier beak, bigger nastier claws, and a nice blue crest.
And probably nastier attitude.
Yes, yes, yes. It's got a very antisocial attitude.
We're not doing the stereotype of Australia any favours.
Look, really, there's nothing to worry about. The nature in Australia is not out to kill you, as long as you leave it alone.
Well, yes.
So anyway, young Philip McLean, in 1926, he lived in the Queensland town of Mossman, or his parents had a property outside the Queensland town of Mossman. Him and his brother encountered a cassowary on the farm in North Queensland, and decided that they were going to kill it with clubs. So they promptly hit the cassowary with a club, and the cassowary promptly kicked Philip with its long claws on its feet, and opened up a 1.25 centimetre long gash in his neck, right on his main blood vessel. So Philip got up and ran away, but didn't run very far, and he collapsed and died from the hemorrhage. No word on how the cassowary went though, but I am assuming that other than a severe headache, he came out all right.
Yes, it was a kung fu cassowary.
Kung fu cassowary, yes.
Yes.
And good on the kung fu cassowary too.
Yes.
Now, when they say laughter is the best medicine, too much laughter is not so
Like
good.
any other medicine, you can go overdosing.
Yes, yes. Alex Mitchell of England decided that he would watch his favourite program, The Goodies, an English comedy show from the 70s. And in the particular episode, he laughed continuously for 25 minutes, and then he had heart failure. He died from lack of oxygen. Oops.
Oops-a-daisy.
Oops. Yes, oops.
Yes. Our last one. Now, we all like a good cup of coffee. We all like,
we haven't oops to death yet.
Oh, we haven't oops to death. No, we have skipped one.
Yes, yes.
And this one's...
Okay.
Yes. This one, we don't cover Canada. We should mention Canada more often.
Yes, we like Canadians from Canada. We really do.
But this particular guy, called Gary Hoy, decided that you would show... He's been showing the fact that in his building that the big glass windows were in fact unbreakable.
Yes. So he raced up and raced into one to prove that it was unbreakable. However, the frame around the glass window is breakable. So
Yes.
out of the 24th floor shot Gary to his death. Not so good. He should have just bumped them.
Yeah.
Running into them is not good.
Yeah, no. Well, they're saying it's not the fall that hurts. It's the
No.
abrupt stop at the bottom.
Yeah, yeah. All you got to do is put a big spring down there.
I don't think that quite works somehow.
But could you imagine the G-forces on your insides?
Yes, your G-forces would be liquid. No, your insides would be liquid from the G-forces.
Yes. Well, what's terminal velocity from 24 floors? It would probably have to be...
Oh, for most people, it's nearly 200 kilometres an hour without a parachute.
Yeah.
Straight down.
So, hitting a spring at 200 kilometres an hour and then for a millisecond stopping and then going back up again, your innards wouldn't stop.
No. No, they wouldn't.
They would find a way out the bottom.
Yes.
Ooh, ugly.
Ew. Anyway.
Okay, you're going to have death with caffeine.
Yes, I mean, we all enjoy a nice cup of coffee. Probably something I needed.
Yes. Okay, so what did the young Connecticut resident do?
Well, a guy called James Stone, 19-year-old, decided was feeling a bit weary and a bit tired, and thought he'd have about 4,800 milligrams of caffeine by consuming about 24 no-dose pills.
Okay.
That's not good for you.
Well, yeah.
He would have died of heart palpitations. He would have had hallucinations, jitters.
Well, I tried. I don't know if you can still get them. I'm assuming you can, but you used to be able to get coffee beans coated in dark chocolate.
I think you can, but you have to go to like specialist confectioners and things to get them.
Well, I got a bag. I was driving basically from Brisbane to Melbourne in Australia,
which is about 2,000
with a stop in at Wollongong. So essentially, and I picked the time of year when it was virtually solid fog down the New England and down the Hume.
So in winter, you're travelling 2,000 kilometres with one rest stop.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so
hang on. No, he's not a ghost.
So I took with me a couple of large bottles of Coca-Cola, a big packet of Jaffa chocolate biscuits, and a sizable bag of chocolate-coated coffee beans.
You were determined.
By Albury, I was seeing things.
Really?
I was.
No kidding.
Yeah, so I can understand that one. I did it once.
I know when I'm going back to the back end of my shift in the taxi at about 2 in the morning and go, wait, is that person hailing me? No, wait, that's a tree.
That would scare the crap out of you. A tree suddenly went.
That's a skit we can do. Anyway,
Yes.
who got born?
Who got born on this day? Well, no, we'll do
on this day first.
Yeah, on this day.
Again, I need more caffeine.
Yes.
Probably not that much caffeine.
No, 1947, the House Committee on Un-American Activities decided to have a look into the American movie industry. So, I don't know, yes.
So that would be free expression and, expressing things and who can't have that.
Yes, yes. Well, you'll find if you're John Wayne, but yeah, anybody else was in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, 1965, the last PV Volvo rolled off the assembly line on this day. The PV went from 1947 through to 1965 with only minor cosmetic changes. I don't know about you, but I know Jaguar like to hang on to their models for a few years, but even they had a couple of upgrades between 47 and...
The 240 series went from the mid-70s to the early 90s.
Yes, although the XJ series with updates went through from 1968 through to 1992.
So it went from when you were a small child to when I was a small child.
I was 10, yes.
And I was 6 in 92.
Yeah, so the last of them were V12 XJs. The 6-cylinder had gone out in the late 80s, but they kept the Series 3 body shell for the last of the V12s.
Yes.
Or second last of the V12. Yes, now, 1977.
Well, 1973.
Oh, okay.
You need more caffeine.
Yes, I need more caffeine, yes. You give us 1973.
Sydney Opera House opened, the thing that looks like sales.
Yeah,
It's
well,
supposed to
although
look like sales.
my favourite one was a meme I saw yesterday on Facebook. They had a dish drainer set up to look like the Opera House, and the meme was, when I see this, I think of this, and I had to agree with them on that one.
Okay.
Now, 1977. Give me my 1977. It was a good year.
Well, yeah, well, not if you're part of Lynyrd Skynyrd.
No, not if you're part of Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Because 3 of them died in a plane accident in Mississippi.
Yes. Well, 1978 was my not so good year.
Yeah, 1977 was not a good year for Lynyrd Skynyrd.
No. 1994 wasn't a good year for Burt Lancaster either. He died.
He died of a heart attack.
Yeah, 1994.
And in 2011, another person died, although this person was probably not a very nice person.
Yes. Muammar Gaddafi was killed on this day in 1977.
Due to the Arab Spring and and which basically spread through social media, and they went, let's all have a revolution, and
Yes.
let's all kill the horrible people that are oppressing us. Okay, let's do that.
Yep, sounds like a plan. Okay.
Yeah. Now, who actually got born?
Who got born on this day? Christopher Wren got born on this day. Astronomer, architect. He's the guy that designed St Paul's Cathedral after the Fire of London, and a few other bits and pieces. Now, 1823, Thomas Hughes, an English author, he wrote Tom Brown's School Days, was born on this day. 1882, Bela Lugosi, Austro-Hungarian actor, very famous as being one of the original Draculas. Now, in 1890, Ferdinand Jelly Roll Morton, jazz pianist and composer, was born in New Orleans on this day.
Gee whiz,
Now, if I said to you, William Christopher Everston III.
He's Fallon McCulkey from MASH.
Yes,
A television series that went longer than the war it was set in.
yes. He used his first two names as his stage name, William Christopher. He played Father Mulcahy in MASH, and then the spin-off series after MASH. Now, Thomas Douglas, from Falkirk in Scotland. He was actually a Canadian politician. That was tricky. He was born on this day in 1904. He was the father of Medicare in Canada.
Yes, and the Canadians recently have decided they don't want Stephen Harper as their Prime Minister anymore.
No. Oh, God, I skipped a couple.
You skipped it, you have.
1911, Will Rogers Jr. Was born on this day. Now, 1950, a young fellow named Tom Petty was born in Gainesville, Florida. The leader of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
And if we said to you the name Calvin Brodus, you would go, who that be? But if we said to you Snoop Dogg,
Yes.
you would be more familiar.
Yeah, you would probably know who we're talking. Yes, born in Long Beach, California on this day in 1971. And that's us for this episode and this season. We'll be back with a new season. Now, if you like us, hit like. If you like us also, share. If you don't like us, inflict us on your friends.
That's the one. Anyway.
Comments, we love comments.
Yes. Just not nasty ones.
Oh, I don't care. Good, nasty, whatever.
Okay.
Comments.
Say we had big noses and our underpants stink.
Yes, that would involve smell-o-vision.
Yeah, but you don't have to actually be true on the internet.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't? You mean there are untrue things on the internet?
Yes.
Oh. Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
I believe everything I see on the internet.
Right.
Okay. See you on the dark side. We've got cookies.